Welcome everyone to this July 10th edition of What's Happening in Crypto with the Crypto Lark, broadcasting to you from New Zealand and bringing you all of the latest from the crypto world and beyond. Today in crypto, big hack over at Bancor. China loves to hate Bitcoin, and our smart cities, the devil. Before we get into that, Bitcoin, $6,740. While we are still up 1.69% on the last 7 days, we have taken a little bit of a hit in the last 24 hours, but the rest of the markets reacting more than Bitcoin is reacting. One of the key stories leading today is what's happened over at Bancor. There has been a hacking incident. Of course, the real question that's on everyone's minds: are the funds Safu or not Safu? Chengpeng Zhao. Not Safu! Ooh, not Safu. So the details of what happened over at Bancor are that essentially 25,000 Ethereum have been stolen. We've also lost about $1 million worth of Pundi X tokens and around $10 million worth of Bancor network tokens were also part of that security breach. While they did try to steal the Bancor tokens, Bancor was able to intervene and freeze those tokens. However, that has had a mixed response from the community, with some saying, hey, wait a second, isn't that a bit centralized if Bancor can go in and basically stop those transactions dead in their tracks? How decentralized is the Bancor exchange? Obviously, it is a very tricky time for the team over at Bancor in terms of dealing with this, finding out exactly what happened. We're still very early days when it comes to this particular situation, but we see a trend of hack after hack after hack. Cryptocurrency exchanges are massive targets. Great security updates, speaking of getting hacked, from Ledger. They have got Ledger Live. This is a very exciting new bit of software that will essentially allow you to track your portfolio on a piece of software without having to open up your ledger every single time. I think it's a nice development for the guys over at Ledger, without a doubt. Nobel-winning economist Joseph Stiglitz comes out and says authorities will bring down the hammer on Bitcoin. Thanks, Joe. Thanks. I find myself wondering, honestly, why do we give value to the Nobel Prize anymore? For me, honestly, I used to hold the Nobel Prize in some sort of high esteem, and I know that there's still literature prizes and things that are a little less political, but when it comes down to economists or politicians or the Peace Prize, it gets a little murkier in my opinion. And basically the Nobel Prize lost all relevance for me when they gave it to Obama. Now, this is not an indictment on Obama or anything like that, but the reality is they gave him the Nobel Peace Prize and he went on to murder or be complicit in the murder of thousands of people via the drone program, many of whom were innocent civilians. Not to mention, of course, all the wars that continued under his administration. Now, it is what it is when it comes to American politics, but you don't give somebody like that the frickin' Nobel Peace Prize and have it mean anything after that. So the fact that they're asking Joe Stiglitz, hey Joe, what do you think about Bitcoin? He says, if you open up a hole like Bitcoin, then all the nefarious activity will go through that hole, and no government can allow that. Okay, Joe. Now, keep in mind, Joe is 75. But again, we have to keep coming back to the statistics that all of the majority of money laundering is still happening via banks with fiat currency. Many of these banks are complicit in that money laundering. It's not Bitcoin's fault. Bitcoin's just an instrument. It might get used for bad things sometimes, but fiat money is usually what is used for bad things. I'd like you to keep it honest there, Joe, and put in both sides of the story, not just do a hit piece on Bitcoin. Speaking of doing hits on Bitcoin, China bragging that its cryptocurrency ban has practically killed local Bitcoin trading. Well done, China. Great. Great. The great irony of this, of course, is that the black market for Bitcoin in China has exploded, even though official accounts for it may say that they've killed Bitcoin. I don't think so at all. I'm sure the black market for Bitcoin in China is probably bigger than it's ever been, and the Chinese market might even be bigger than it's ever been, but it's not being registered. It's all going OTC. Not to mention, of course, that many of the most exciting cryptocurrency projects are coming out of China. They're really shooting themselves in the foot by doing this, and I can only hope that we will see a reversal of policy at some point in the future. But at the moment, apparently, banks over in South Korea have not got the message from China that Bitcoin is bad, because banks in South Korea now have reportedly around $2 billion in cryptocurrencies being held as an asset. That is massive. Now, we all know that South Korea is a crypto crazy market, but to see the commercial banks stockpiling Bitcoin, stockpiling Ethereum, and probably a whole host of the other top cryptocurrencies, that's something to take note of. I'm sure that a lot of other banks around the world are doing the same. South Korea probably just has the highest percentage of it, but I'm sure if you were to go to Japan, or if you were to go to Taiwan or Hong Kong or a lot of other jurisdictions, you'd find that the banks are actually stockpiling. Remember, if you're selling your Bitcoin now, there's a bank on the other end, quite happy and ready to buy it from you. Speaking of billions of dollars, cryptocurrency exchange Binance eyes record profits in 2018 with $1 billion in profits. Wow, Binance. I've said it once and I will say it again. Starting your own cryptocurrency exchange is a license to print money. IOTA granted 20 million euros in EU funding for smart city projects. I, for one, am quite excited about smart cities and the potential for smart city projects to deliver really great results for society as a whole. We're going to see, of course, better electricity usage and better water usage and all these different things. But on the flip side, I know there are a lot of people out there who look at the smart city model and go, oh God, this is the start of the Big Brother state. This is the start of ultra intrusion into your privacy. Of course, a lot of blockchain projects are working to address those privacy issues. Nevertheless, put it back over to the audience. What do you think? Are smart cities the way of the future, or are you worried that smart cities will be part of the problem? Exciting news from Quark Chain. Quark Chain has done a live demo of the new testnet, 10,000 transactions per second across 6,450 nodes on 3 continents in 50 clusters. Wow, that is quite impressive. Obviously, it's one thing to get great results on the testnet. Let's see how the mainnet holds up later on, but that is certainly a promising start. Half of ICOs die within 4 months after their token sales are finalized. You do have to remember with ICOs that a lot of ICOs never even get any mention in social media, for example. They're almost doomed from the start, but they do manage to attract some money. And even the ones that can attract money, you're still investing in a start-up company. And startup companies have high failure rates. And when you put blockchain on top of that, you complicate things, as some of these ideas, blockchain and society may simply not be ready for those ideas. The ICO market can certainly be a tricky one, but when you look at some of the ICOs and the returns that they can offer for investors, it is still a gold mine for the very savvy prospectors. And finally today, we have got a women's large Crypto Lark t-shirt to be giving away. Who is our lucky winner going to be? Kalana. Congratulations. That shirt will be coming over your way. Now, we have got for tomorrow's giveaway a nebulous hoodie. So if you want to get a sweet, sweet nebulous hoodie, extra large, I think it's actually a women's one as well. I tried putting it on. It was quite small on me, so I'm pretty sure this is a women's XL. But if you want to be into winning that, put it in the comments section down below. Thanks so much for watching the video. Let me know what you think about any of today's news stories in the comments section down below. Thumbs up the video, share these videos around the internet to help our community grow. Join the conversation over on Twitter. Long live the blockchain, and peace out till next time.